Sweet, man. Well, thanks for your time. Again, I just trying to have conversations with people, trying to humanize people, because there's a lot of dehumanization going on,
Yeah.
which you know better than I do.
Yeah.
And I just started people's origin stories. Well, we met, again, I documented a sweep by Holler Lake 8 months ago.
135th, yeah.
Yeah. And I met you and your partner. But I started people's origin stories. Cedric, tell me about yourself. Where were you born and raised?
I was born in actually in Seattle. I think at Swedish. My mom gave up her rights to me. I was staying with my grandma for a bit. I know my dad came and did visits for a little bit. I ran away from my grandma at around, I think around 6 or 7 years old. It was like that was like after my dad's funeral. He had committed suicide, and then we had an open casket. But I remember going with my grandma, and she was running from Washington all the way to Florida, and she started off as a postal worker, and then moved up in the federal government to like a GS 15 or 16 or something like that, where she got briefed and debriefed twice a day, license to kill, firearm, all that stuff. I think maybe immigration or something, and then she stopped working for them because she found out that they didn't believe in the Lord. And then when we started to go write a book was when things just hit the fan. And so she went, she became paranoid schizophrenic, and I noticed that all of her offspring, strictly on her side, are just going crazy or off themselves. You know what I mean? Actually, just recently, my little cousin, which is her daughter's son, got murdered on his 18th birthday. On July 4th, just shot 5 times right there in front of his house in Auburn. Yeah.
And this is your grandma?
Yeah. Yep. I ran away from her.
Why did you run away? I'm curious why you ran away. I mean, that's a young child, 6 years old.
Yeah, no. They actually diagnosed me with a certain type of rage or whatever. But I think the side effects of whatever trauma from an outside influence was being put on her was leaking over to me. You know what I mean? As a kid, and things that she just couldn't help. You know what I mean? She always thought I was lying about something or another, and but
Well, so I mean, I think about something in you as a child felt maybe this place is not safe for me.
Yeah,
is it something like that?
I think I did it more out of anger.
Okay, gotcha.
You know what I mean? More of I was I was sick of shit. You know what I mean? And then I walked around and I was like, oh shit, I want to go back.
Yeah, where did you go?
I just walked around. You know what I mean? And I was barefooted. For that matter. And I remember I stepped on a sticker bush. I'm like, all right, fuck this. And then so I started going back, and then there was people that they must have been waiting for that moment for like hawks, dude, because I wasn't gone for more than 20, 30 minutes. You know what I mean? And so when I come back, there's these people. You know what I mean? And next thing I know, I'm sitting in the back of a car. And then that was my beginning to foster care. And I swear I've been to almost 30 different foster homes and group homes. I've seen the worst that they had to offer. Yeah,
So at that age, 6 years old, you went straight to foster care.
Mm-hmm.
And we're in that system.
Huh?
Or you're in that system.
Oh man.
Until you're 18, right?
Yeah.
So tell me about it.
Dude, shit. Let's see. Well, from parts that I can remember, because a lot of it was pretty bad. I was bouncing around from home to home, respite home. I remember the first worker, I think the first or second worker I had, her name was BC Amu. And she's like, he needs to go to a black family. And right after she said that, I never saw her again, and I've been in every white home you could think of. Like, man. And I mean, I'm talking about they gaslighted me in like the most unusual ways. Like, I didn't understand what gaslighting was until like recently. And then when I look back at it, I'm like, oh, dude, it made me so sick to my stomach. Like, let's just say like, when I was 14, I only weighed like 72 pounds. Like, I had a bad stuttering problem, and like I noticed that like my always apologizing for stuff is like a side effect of like, you know, mental abuse and like, you know, gaslighting stuff. And like I was pissing the bed to like 15 or 16 years old. You know what I mean? Like, it was bad, real bad.
But yeah, those are signs of severe trauma.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Remember, I was at this foster home. Actually went by the south end to see it, and it was plowed over to the ground, which I was really happy to see. But her name was Montana Smith, and she was probably pretty clueless to a lot of what was going on around there. But she had a daughter named Leah Holmes, and she hated going to the food bank, and so like she would let the other foster kids like whoop up, like as long as they didn't like leave bruises or whatever, she'd let them whoop up on me every red light until it turned green. And I should remember their names, like Bradley Spalding, Tony Pickett, Rico Delgado, all these different names, you know what I mean? And like I mean, like since coming to the Lord, I learned to forgive, but like I always made like a secret pact to like, you know, get back at these guys, you know what I mean? But yeah, no, my partner really helped me, like, you know, find perspective on things.
Those names were not good people in your life, is what you're saying?
No, they were not. Oh no. But I'm pretty sure everybody has their own, you know, problems and stuff that they're going through. But I remember I ended up going to well, yeah, and also like they used to like, well, Leah Holmes, like I remember I had a couple other caseworkers, Corky Nystrom and Michael Goldberg. And they ended up pulling me out of that. One of them ended up pulling me out of that home because I kept getting pinched on the armpit and put in a corner, and like I started getting infected and stuff, and like they had to take me out of there. I just recently ran into a couple other people that I was in one of the group homes, Ryther or whatever, with. I'm on the streets and stuff, but and they recognized me. And I didn't recognize them at all, but like they had me in so many different meds. Like back then, like I can't remember nothing. Like Ritalin, Strattera, Clonidine, Caserta, Resveratrol, Adderall XRs. Like if I didn't have ADHD then, I got it now. Yeah, dude. Like, man, dude. Like, you know, kid couldn't sit still for a second, then they hit him with a slingshot and the Ritalin. You know what I mean? Like, but and then I remember I ended up going to like my auntie for respite one time, and Auntie Opal, like, and she's been like gaslighting for so long, like, and she doesn't even know what's going on actually. When me on the outside looking in, like, I can see that, and like, you know, small things are making her like act out extravagantly. You know what I mean? And like, I can't even like, you know, explain it to her what's going on and have her understand it. Like, she's so far gone. So like, and so I look at it now and I'm like, man, is that what like the long-term effects are? Like, holy crap. But like, so like I don't really hold much to her back then, but I remember on my birthday she ended up dropping me off at DSHS with a Game Boy. You know what I mean? Like, talk about like separation anxiety, right? And trust issues and whatnot. But yeah, like a lot of the other homes, like I can't really remember much of them. You know what I mean? Because I wasn't nowhere. I didn't stay anywhere long enough to, you know what I mean, to like, you know, gain any like, valuable type memories. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Was it homes of people? Families, you said?
Well, yeah, and
or
group
just
homes.
And group homes.
Yeah.
And you just bounced around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'd always run away from whatever group home I didn't like. Like, I remember there's a couple of court cases and like actually won them. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and like I can't even count how many schools I went to on both hands. You know what I mean?
Right. I was gonna ask if you were like in school. They put you in school and.
Yeah. And I noticed something though too. Like they tend to just push me through. Like I never even took a language class, and they just pushed me on through. You know what I mean? Like I'm talking about, there's some classes where I just didn't do a dang thing. Like I pointedly didn't do nothing, and they passed me. And I'm like I would skip. I think it was like my electronics class or whatever, and like I would go to the auto shop class because like I always liked Mr. Kemp. He was cool. Actually, caught him smoking weed one time, and I was like, no, bro, I'll match, man. And I was just saying like it was cool, but like I think he understood me, you know. It's like I would skip class, and I go there, and he's like, all right, well, shit, you're TA for today. I'm like, bet, you know what I mean? But like, I swear, like he's the only person that kind of kept me in high school. Him and Mr. Rose was one of the special ed classes. But yeah, man, like I mean, they even put me in like a special like for kids that have serious mental problems. School called like New Discovery or some shit like that. Where like I took a taxi cab to go there. Yeah, like it was weird. They even put me in Fairfax and all that crap.
And so you're thinking, while you're in these classes, what are your thoughts?
Nothing really. Like I started learning to like cheat the pills and like started selling the pills to other people there.
Oh, so you're on meds?
Oh man, they fucked me up. Dude. Like I'm telling you, like I couldn't go to sleep until like 3 o'clock in the morning, and then I had to wake up at 6 o'clock just to go out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Every day.
Mm-hmm. And then like for some reason or another, I was always in trouble, I guess, or like I was always in my room, and like I'm talking about like it got to the point where like the biological kids will like always lie on the foster kids, so it doesn't matter what the other kid says. So like and of course their children would never lie. You know what I mean? And so like I remember one time there was like like come around Christmas time, they always take away a present for every time you got in trouble. And I mean, for some reason I just got into the most trouble. Everybody would do some shit and they'll lie on me. You know what I mean? And like I can't even defend myself. So like nowadays, like even if I'm innocent, like I look guilty as fuck, dude. And like you know what I mean? Like it's got my anxiety all up and shit. And like I remember like one time I got like a TV box. I'm like, what? I got a TV? Finally a big screen TV? Cool. Because like I'm one of those kids where like I couldn't sit on the couch. I had to sit on the floor. You know what I mean? I couldn't even. The kids I had to eat them on the table. You know what I mean? And so like even in Disneyland, you know what I mean? Like I had to, like they hopped on rides, and I had to sit there and walk around with the foster parent. You know what I mean? So it was like finally got some of my own, but it was empty, and it had like a Monopoly board, a couple of pairs of clothes, and like a baseball mitt. You know what I mean? It's like, and then they got the TV, and I got to watch them play video games. You know what I mean? So it's like it was all messed up and stuff. You know what I mean? But now that I see it, I'm like, oh man, dude. But and then like I never had any like allowances. But then I learned that people love Adderall, so I'm like, all right, bet. So I started taking the pills, and I just started pelling them off to everybody. But yeah, dude, like yeah. So I mean, foster care, not my best experience.
Well, once you age out of foster care, 18, where do you go?
Well, I ran into my mom, and Lori Baker, which when I look back at it, she gaslights the fuck out of those kids, dude. Like she cultivates like a type of like mentality in them, you know what I mean? And like now that I see past it, like I mean, like it's weird, it's dark, but I mean, like I'm having a hard time breathing thinking about it. But like she said I should have stayed there. I mean, if it was a good enough home, you know what I mean? Like if they had my best interest in mind, yeah, sure. Maybe I should have stayed in, but like when I see my mom, and I mean, I'm going any way out, you know what I mean? I mean, I'm talking about I was running away from that house as many times as I could. And I mean, but and like I mean, who gets somebody like 20,000 sentences right? Like, come on, dude. Like, you know you're keeping them somewhere. Anyways, like, I saw like a happily ever after, right? Or anyways, that's the way for that matter. And it was like, my last, couple years like my last year in high school or whatever. And I was like, bet. And I didn't even last 2 weeks before you get into an argument. And like, breaks breaking over my head. Like, it just went wild. And like, it was just very toxic to begin with. And like, I feel like she saw my dad in me, I guess. And it really got to her, something like that. I don't know the whole story behind all that. But, yeah. So from 18, I was on my own ever since then. Probably only had my own place, never went to a discipleship one time. And other than that, like, I was homeless the entire time.
So when you're 18, they just put you out and you got to figure it out?
Yep. And I'm sure they have like a couple of programs or whatever, but like, my mom was there, you know what I mean? As like, like, here I am, whoa, happily ever after. And I mean, so I skipped all whatever channels you would normally go through, and like, gotcha. I went there, and then like that was just like fucked off, you know what I mean? Like, but yeah.
Well, let's see, how many years ago was that?
I'm 35 now, so
yeah,
a long time ago.
Yeah.
My mom died a few years ago.
Wow.
And she was only like 17 or 18 years older than me, but she had brain, bone, and lung cancer. You had to smoke a doobie with her though before she passed. Yeah, that was crazy.
So you've been unhoused and homeless for a while.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep. Yep.
Well, let's talk about, Cedric, your current situation. You have a partner, but where are you guys at now?
Well, we're trying to find housing and get on with our lives. Where the gaslighting and the community mobbing is like at an all-time high. Like, I'm talking about it is brutal.
You said community mobbing.
Yeah.
I have not heard this term. Tell me about that.
Or whatever they call gang stalking, the phenomenon, or pretty much a group of people that found it like it's community policing in a way, like a community mobbing. It's a fun little trick that a bunch of rich folks, they have a lot of money in a federally funded study, low key, or some would say is or isn't off the right. Where they're using like old CIA, old tactics, like from an old CIA manual that they used to get to like diplomats and officials that were deemed untouchables. You know what I mean? And it's just mind games to drive motherfuckers crazy. You know what I mean? Like, we're like, you can't even trust fast food restaurants to make your food anymore. Like, I'm talking about, it is brutal. Like, where you get sensitized to cars where, all of a sudden it goes, it sounds like it's just a gunshots going off right by you. Actually, right when we got together, we had somebody fire off like 7 rounds from a fully automatic gun at us. Like, broad daylight. You know what I'm saying? Like, and everybody's extremely rude. Everybody's trying to sensitize you to whatever. You know what I mean? Say like, one person hears like, like a cough, from 60 people, 50 people, that they, try to, position around somebody's life because they've, had previous, surveillance on them. So they know the routine, they know where they go, what they do normally, this and that. And so like, they make it easily available for other people to be there, to just happen to be by, somebody's life, and like, and they do the same thing over and over and over each day for like, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months. Well, that one person, you know, when they hear a cop, like, they're gonna get pissed the fuck off. They're gonna want to, like, you know what I mean? It's gonna make somebody hostile. But other people, they're like, why is this person tripping? Because that person just coughed. Like, you only see it one time, but that person's dealt with it their whole fucking life. You know what I mean? And like, people don't understand, and then like, you know, it makes that people. That's why a lot of these people, like I noticed that, you know, end up going to like these different, like, you know, shootings where they kill a bunch of people. These are actually victims that like they try to reach out, but like never, you know, saw the help that, like, well, you never get help. You know what I mean? Because like they're everywhere. Everybody's in on it. It's weird. It's like an app or some shit. But like, so like they saw no way out, so they figured they'd take out a few of them with them. You know what I mean? I mean, now that I see it, I mean, I understand it. I don't condone that, because like I want to go to heaven, but like I understand it now, and I pity them. But like, this is where I understand, like, this is a birthing pain to the end of times, and the Lord's not gonna let this go by for long. It's gonna be a civil war, or something's gonna happen. It's gonna come to a head.
I'm curious about your faith. Would you call it faith?
Yeah.
How did that come to be?
Man, I'm a very see it to believe it kind of person. Like, I remember one time, like, I even fasted and everything, you know, and I mean, I need to eat some food, so like, it was a bit much for me to fast, but I did, and I prayed too, and I'm like, Lord, if there's a need out there, I mean, like, if you're out there, like, I'm gonna see it to believe it kind of person. Like, you know how you made my mind, like, you need to show me a burning bush that does not wilt like you did Moses. Slap me with some supernatural shit, Lord. And let me minus the cussing. But I guess God's kind of got a sense of humor, actually, because I was out in Texas, and I was actually pretty sober, actually, there. I did it like that because, like, I didn't have any, you know what I mean, access to stuff. And I had a little bit of family out there, but like anybody else, they kind of dogged me. But I ended up, you know, getting a job under the table, doing house leveling and foundation repair for the Mendozas. And I mean, never had time to do anything. Honestly, after one project was over, there's another project. I think in this first month, I had like 2 days off. But I mean, I was stacking money, so it was cool. But I finally had 2 days off, and I bought some cheap fucking Texas Mexican merch weed, you know what I mean? And a bong. So I've done some more shopping. Now there's one thing, like, you know, if you're staring and like you, just as the door closes, you thought you saw a shadow go by or whatever. It was nothing like that. And I wish I could, like, you know, scratch out the acid, but I was sober as a duck. And what gets me is because these houses are pre-war, like 1902, but I'm sitting in the left seat and I'm staring down the hall thinking about my next move. And I watched this, like, 4.5 foot tall, like, completely dark figure. I'm about as dark as, you know, the legs as your shirt, just walked up, stopped, and then went to the room adjacent. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I've got goosebumps right now. Like, I was like, whoa, okay. And I'm asking them, like, hey, y'all see that? They're like, no, what's up? I'm like, and I was dating these twins, Mona and Angel, and I gave them like some money to stay a month at their house. And one of them has a daughter named Mia, and like, she always like to scare people, right? But but I'm like, is Mia around? So they're like, dude, nobody's here, bro. I'm like, no. I'm looking around and stuff, and there was nobody there. And so I'm like, okay. Wow. So I'm like, maybe it's like a Holocaust victim, or maybe like, well, the room that it went into, it had paused before it went in the room. So like, I mean, maybe like stopped and opened up a door that was there way back when, but there's no door there, there's just a sheet, you know what I mean? So maybe like stopped and opened a door that was there back then or whatever. I don't know, but that shit had me spooked. They said when I was there for the night, like, I was up as long as I could, and like I kept the light on and everything like that. I left that house, and then I gave me a 4-bedroom house, and like I had to get me a dog because I was spooked. I couldn't even stand by myself. Like, shit had me so fucked up. Then I started thinking like, there's life after death. Okay, wow, there's life after death. Then and there's gotta be heaven and hell. There's heaven and hell. There's got a God and Satan. I'm like, oh crap. All right, Lord. You know what I mean? And then I kind of forgot about it a little bit. You know what I mean? And then go back in my ways. You know what I mean? And my faith faded. And then like, my mom had brain, bone, and lung cancer. My mom had brain, bone, and lung cancer. Was when it like was when something happened, man. And like, no, I've been suicidal before, right? You know, to an extent, because, well, that's one of the three goals of it. Have you completely, you know, a complete lack of financial stability, mental stability, once you have the suicidal, locked up, you know what I mean, or a mental institution, or, you know what I mean, or going on a killing spree and getting shot at by the cops. You know, that's their main goals in that. And however means necessary, they're gonna do that. Well, anyways, see my mom go down the drain like that had me kind of fucked up. And so like, I mean, like, I had it all planned out, right? Like, I got, like, you know, the perfect haircut. I shaved everything, you know what I mean? You know, I cleaned the apartment. I mean, I wore my nicest clothes. I took a fat shit in the morning, so I wouldn't shit myself afterwards, you know what I mean? And I put a chair in the door, and then, like, you know, like, and then I did I'm talking about like a full syringe, like straight black of like heroin, right? And then, like, you know, like, I could tell, like, I died twice. Like my heart had stopped, but like I went somewhere, and like I was able to completely record where I went to though, and like I had to talk to the deacon afterwards, because like it blew my mind. And then when he explained it to me, I was like, okay, wow, all right. But he like if I could draw, like I could like literally like draw like the landscape of where I was, and it was not anything you could like read about in a book, or like, you know what I mean, or think about, like it was crazy. But then like I had talked to somebody that was ex-military named Al, and when I told him about that, he said, I'm gonna tell you something, man. And I ain't never told to anybody, and he told me his account and the similarities, like it'll put chills down your spine, man. But it's like, okay, so like you know spiritual war and all that stuff, like there's something to it, and it's real, you know. And you could tell, like, you know, the spirits that influence people's actions, and like, you know what I mean, and like, you know, and possession and all that stuff, like that shit's real. And it's kind of unsettling once you experience that.
So, well, I'm curious, the place that you saw, was it a positive place or a negative place? Was there somewhere you wanted to stay and be, or like get out of?
So the first time, I was very uncomfortable, because like it was all black, and like I couldn't move, and I felt like there was like this like overpowering smell of sphagnum moss, like that I couldn't get rid of, and I felt like there was like moss in my throat and my lungs, and every like cavity in my body that had air was stuffed with moss, I guess. And like I had a feeling of like there was other people in the room, but like there was nobody there. And then that lasted for about 20 seconds. And then whatever it was, I blipped out, like I never was, or whatever happened. And then like I just know like I was, and then like I was above ground. I felt like, so maybe I was like underground, I don't know, it was weird. But then like all I know is I'm standing in this landscape, and there's nothing but rolling hills as far as I can see. And like all the hills kind of had like almost like a shag rug, kind of like, but it had like a texture like that. And it could have been like, you know, like dying moss or like whatever, but like it was like kind of like brown, like dark brown, almost black. And it was just short rolling hills as far as I could see, every direction. I noticed I didn't have a need to breathe though, but I couldn't look down. Well, I didn't think to look down to see what I was, but like, you know how like an overcast sky, like right now, you see different hues of gray? Where I was at, it was different hues of brown. And you could tell like the sky was lit up, but you couldn't tell where or what lit up the sky. And the clouds are actually closer to the ground than these clouds are. And it's almost like a template landscape, I guess. And like all I could hear was just like wind, maybe like thunder in the background, but like that was about it. And there was like nobody. It was just like desolate, almost like a wasteland type, or like a template, like, you know, like land or whatever, you know what I mean, that just was never filled with life. It was trippy.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, and like maybe I think I seen like maybe like 2 mountains in the background, but I was more transfixed on the rolling hills, like, because there were just so many of them.
Yeah.
And I didn't walk any forward or anything like that, but I just remember I looked around because they only lasted for like 7 seconds. And then I woke up and I was in my room. Yeah.
I'm curious about your tattoos.
I got this. I got these after I fought 2 people in my cell in Shelton. This is 100% real. I guess some dude like won a fight over like, you know, a pinnacle game, and so I said sure, because he messed up a lot of money that we had. He was talking that crap, and so like we went and cut the fade, and then like his celly came in there and got me. So like, and so I had to fight 2 people myself, and then like they ended up getting me, you know, getting better at me. But the key holder, you know, for the gang was like, well, the next time you're gonna get in a fight, I'll make sure you get a fair one. And then they gave me a tattoo.
Gotcha. One last question, Cedric, before we wrap up, that I'd like to ask. Is there anything that you would want the people of Seattle to know?
Church without applying what you learned is worthless.
Tell me more.
Everybody pretends to be a good people and pretends to, you know, when they say God bless and this, that, and third. But I feel like they really, truly don't know what those words mean.
Cool, man. Thanks for sharing part of your story. Good to hear your voice.
Yeah.
All right, man.
All right.
I'm gonna grab that little mic.
Yeah.